Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today's video is going to be an updated version of the last video I did on winter and how to layer for really cold winters. It was clearly you guys' favorite. I want to give you guys some more tips and tricks and just a few extra little things that I've picked up over the last few years since the last time I did this. I don't know about you, but I'm cold already. I don't know where you are in the world, but it is already cold here. We are already in the negative climates where I live, and my body has not adjusted yet. I'm even cold in the house with the heat blasting right now. So I've got my cozy cup of tea, and I'm ready to talk to you guys about all things warm. Okay. Let's dive in. A lot of the coats I was wearing, all the coats I was wearing were wool coats, and people were asking about water resistant and what to do if there's slush and things like that. So I'm gonna actually be touching on that in this upcoming video. I'm gonna be styling a winter coat that is water resistant for you guys so that you can see. Where I live in Western Canada, specifically in my province, we don't get a lot of slush here. We get slush once a year and it's around springtime when everything's melting. But for the most part, our winters are extremely dry, extremely cold, very sunny. So sunblock and sunglasses are a must. But we don't get a lot of that slush or damp that other parts like Vancouver would get, for instance. But I did keep that in mind for this year's video. So let's get going. Okay. First and foremost, the most important is your thermals. I bought a new set this year. They are fleece lined, and what I really like about these ones specifically is that they're not like a typical ribbed cotton that you would normally see. They are cotton, but they're kind of a smooth, silky finish on the outside, which makes it actually very easy to layer over top with your clothes. There's no bunches that form because this is a little bit softer and silkier of a fabric. It will lay a little more smoothly your layers on top. I think Uniqlo is really popular. Their Heat Tech line, I have owned one set of their Heat Tech line before for a few years. I found that it didn't last me very long. Mind you, I don't dry my clothes like I used to, so I'm not throwing my clothes in the dryer. I hang dry most of my clothes because I find dryers just terrible for your clothes. But with that being said, the Heat Tech line, at least the one that I had, it was like a ribbed cotton fabric, and it bunched really easily, and it pilled really easily just after a few washes. And I actually found that these ones in particular have kept me actually warmer than the Uniqlo Heat Tech lines. That's just my opinion though. Also, a little tip that I want to share for you guys with the thermals is to tuck your shirt into your pants and then tuck the hem of your jeans into your socks. It actually keeps that warmth enclosed, and there's no little open areas for the cold to seep into, if that makes sense. When I'm wearing my thermals underneath my clothing, unless I've been doing like a particular amount of walking just beforehand, or I've been like running around doing stuff, I don't get overly hot in my thermals, even underneath my clothes. So I don't really have a solution unless you work in an office setting and you take public transportation, and then you're able to go to your bathroom at work and then change out of your thermals. But for me personally, I'm fine with just wearing the thermals underneath my clothes when I get to my destination. Sometimes, depending on what you're wearing, it can feel tight in the knee area. Like when you're sitting, it feels extra tight because you have another layer underneath your pants. These particular thermals don't give me that feeling. Also, I don't wear super tight jeans or anything that's too form-fitting when I'm wearing my thermals. So that really helps to not have that constructed feeling. Just something I wanted to mention. I also want to mention that buying a pair of really good quality warm socks are super important. I have terrible circulation in my hands and feet, so even in the summer months, my feet and my hands are just cold. My husband introduced me to Mark's Work Wearhouse. I mentioned this in my last video. I'm gonna mention it again in case you missed it. It's great, it's fantastic because they have made socks specifically for people who work outside in these crazy climates and are outside for hours at a time. So just make sure that you're, investing in good quality socks. The fuzzy ones that you can get from like the dollar store or the Dollar Tree or anything like that, they're cozy and they're cute, but they're not super warm, and those aren't gonna do the trick. You gotta like really invest in certain things, especially for cold climates. You gotta invest in your coats. You gotta invest in your socks. The price is definitely reflective of how well it works in these typical regards. A lot of people love wool for their socks, and I totally understand why, because wool is not only natural and sustainable and super, super warm. For me personally, I'm allergic to wool. Even if I have a sweater that has 10%, 5% wool, I will itch like crazy unless I have a really, really thick layer underneath. So if you are allergic to wool like myself or sensitive to wool, merino wool is a better alternative. Now, it's still going to be a little bit itchy if you're particularly sensitive, but it's a lot softer. But a lot of the pieces that I'm gonna be showing you right away are wool. But I have a lot of layers underneath so I don't itch. Okay, I have talked about all the basics for you guys, so let's dive into the styling. Super quick, I wanted to share this one before I show you all my others that were pre-recorded, because I just got this coat and I have tested it thoroughly and it is extremely warm, so I wanted to include that in this video. Penny's gonna be in the background for a second. I have my thermals on underneath these black, just plain sweatpants, and then I have it's a lighter fleece, but it's still fleece lined, just plain black hoodie. I was outside for about 25 minutes just a moment ago wearing just this and my mittens, which are down there. I had my scarf tucked up around my face like this. I lasted for, I would say, 25 minutes before I got like really cold and came back, which for -36 is actually like pretty dang good, I think. I mean, I know this video is all about looking chic while still keeping super warm. To be honest with you, I actually think this is kind of a chic, cute outfit. I like my Uggs. My Uggs are like 10 years old. I actually need a new pair because I have salt stains on them, which if you missed my video on 8 winter hacks, I recommend checking that one out. I will link it up above me. But this is it. I'm super warm and I still feel fairly fashionable. Okay, turtlenecks. Turtlenecks are gonna be your best friend. I have a plethora of different colors, but basic neutral colors, and then a black one, which I'm just about to show you. If you wear a scarf, like a big chunky knit scarf, or if you wear something like zipped all the way up or something, you would think that your neck would be fine. I'm telling you right now, if it isn't tight, air and that cold is gonna seep in areas that you can't feel until you go outside. So I pretty much wear turtlenecks as much as I wear thermals during the winters here. So this time I'm showing you something with a puffer or down, which last time I did not. These types of coats are not only extremely warm, they're great alternatives to wool, but they are water resistant and or waterproof. If I gave you my heart, you could tear it apart. And if I tell you how I feel, would you be good to me? Good to me. Another tip I want to share with you guys is Merino wool, like this, is fantastic as a mid-layer because it is super warm and soft and cozy, but it's without the bulk. So I often use merino wool as my mid-layer over top my thermals, underneath a jacket, a second sweater, what have you. I like to rock a beret every once in a while in the winter and fall months because I think it's super chic. Mittens are going to keep you slightly warmer than gloves will, and that's because your fingers touching generate more heat than when they're separated by fabric.
So spend your time with me. Looking for someone who can play though, wanna hang with me. I'm not really looking for a friend, so spend your time with me. Looking for someone not afraid to give it all to me. Get next to me, get next to me.
Now what I like to do sometimes with my oversized coats, and by the way, I buy a lot of my coats oversized for this particular reason, is I like to layer underneath my overcoat. I mean, either with a puffer vest, a really light puffer jacket, or a blazer. And you would be surprised how much warmer you are with just this slight layer underneath. I also like to use earmuffs sometimes instead of a beanie or a toque if I don't want to like mess up my hair too much. Sunglasses are really important in the winter because the sun seems harsher and brighter, and that's because there's less humidity in the air and the snow acts as a reflector on the sun. So sometimes I'll, belt it like this, or if you lost your belt or you want to use something different, a plain, simple black belt is amazing. It works wonders. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay warm and have a great week.